A very good morning to everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today, the 5th of June, it's a very special day for me. There was absolutely no plans for making a video. I wanted to experience and relish this moment fully. However, videography is something that I really enjoy doing for my own self. I love documenting things and that's why I am probably making this video. So, zero script, zero pre-planned videos, nothing in my mind, just I'm going to compile whatever I feel like I record. And in case I haven't told you yet, I am going on my first ever solo motorcycle ride. If you told me somewhere in December last year or January this year, I would have never believed that few months down the line I would have my own dream motorcycle and I would head on a solo journey. It feels very unreal. I still can't accept the fact that I am going on a solo motorcycle trip with my dream motorcycle. I mean, okay, let's just cherish this moment on my motorcycle. I'm already 15-20 minutes late and off schedule. I'll catch you on the road. Let's go. Now, this being my first ever solo motorcycle journey, a lot of learnings were learned, a lot of mistakes were made. Starting the list off with poor selection of departure time. Almost 9 AM on a weekday, basically starting off the ride by heading straight into the rush hour traffic. Lesson learned. All the next departures before sunrise. Also, not a mistake, but an apology to you all for no POV angles in this video. My helmet is basically brand new and I need to order a retro-specific camera mount, so please bear with the non-helmet shots. It almost took me 3 hours to get out of Delhi itself, and while I had cloud cover for all these painfully lovely 3 hours, they didn't last long, and the sun soon started to mark its blazing presence, and the best escape,
गन्ने का जूस.
Okay, so a bit of an update. I actually messed up a lot of time. It's currently 3 PM and I have barely covered any distance. I mean, I should have reached the mountains by now, but I've barely reached Chandigarh, which is a bummer. Now, the main reason for that was my bad timings, because it's the first time, so I kind of misjudged the traffic hours. The rush hour was real, especially on the weekday. Additionally, I got a check engine light on my motorcycle, so I did not want to take any risks as such, because it is obviously my first time out solo. So I went to Chandewala RE service center and I got the check light removed. However, it's back, but the guy said that there is no problem with the engine. It's just a faulty ABS sensor, which shouldn't be a massive problem. So yeah, just gonna rush through my way because I want to reach by 7 or 6 in the daylight hours. I've taken a quick hydration stop. I'm not feeling hungry as such because I had 2 glasses of ganne ka juice. I'm not gonna have any more. I'm just gonna keep pushing and let's see. I think in the next 1 hour the hills should be visible. I mean, 1 hour is a bit overkill, honestly. Let's see how it goes. As I kept riding and riding, the plains slowly faded into my mirrors and the road and myself finally began to breathe. The straight lines gave way to bends, the horizon disappeared, and suddenly every corner felt like a conversation and like a flowing river. I then crossed the gateway to heaven. If you know, you know. Now, the Interceptor isn't exactly meant for twisties or for it to flow like a river. It is a very matured bike and it isn't a fan of the youthful stuff. However, it has a beautiful character, and if you really love your machine, no matter what the machine is, you can push it as per your limit. Just remember, the mountains are very beautiful, but they never ever forgive carelessness, and one should never ever test or cross their limits, especially in the mountains. Well, be it anywhere, you should never ever cross your limit, especially on a motorcycle. With every hairpin, the temperature dropped another notch. The visor went up, and suddenly the ride wasn't just something I could see, it was something I could breathe. The scent of pine, damp earth, and that familiar freshness I'd been chasing long before the ride even began. Then, I stopped for a pit stop for myself.
Apologies for the lack of video evidence, vlog content. It's because my phone was super duper low on battery. And whenever I open the camera, it just sucks along. However, it's on charge, and I'll try to give you some content, at least while I'm reaching Shimla. Till the time we're here having some food. And in the meantime, I was cleaning myself because riding in India is very dirty.
Well, my ride didn't remain hassle-free for long. After I had my food, the bike just won't start. It had a flat battery. But thanks to my experience with motorcycles, I took a U-turn towards the descent and allowed gravity to help me to jumpstart the bike. And we were up and running again, with a strict promise to not let the bike turn off or stall anywhere. Well, 10-ish kilometers from Shimla, I got stuck in some traffic and I did end up stalling the motorcycle on an incline. Luckily, not too far ahead, I did find a battery shop and immediately got that replaced.
I got the bike checked in the morning as well, but
Now everything made complete sense. The morning check engine light, the recurring ABS light, everything was a symptom of a battery that was on its final few breaths.
not a single light in the console. On. Check how slow it comes. No single light in the console. Sad. Although I stopped at a battery shop, so that's nice. I hope we're fine.
I finally reached Shimla with a very fresh body but an equally tired mind. Checked into a hostel and dozed off for good. The next morning, I woke up whenever my mood decided it was time to wake up. Cool breeze and that familiar Himachali scent seeped through the window and convinced me to step outside. Soon there she was, Shimla. Dense, concrete, exactly as I'd expected, yet somehow still very beautiful. Buildings clung to every slope imaginable, but the city carried a charm that made it all work, an organized chaos that only mountain towns seem to be capable of getting away with. The day was spent wandering. Sanjoli, Lakkad Bazaar, the little lanes in between, no destination, just curiosity. By dusk, I found myself at the Tibetan market asking locals the same question I always ask whenever I visit somewhere new. Where do you go when you want to escape the crowds? One conversation stuck around longer than expected. What started as directions turned into stories, recommendations, and eventually the best local guide I could have ever asked for. Not the kind you hire, the kind you're simply fortunate enough to cross paths with. And thanks to them, I got to experience a side of Himachal that doesn't often appear on maps. One such recommendation led me to the Sankat Mochin temple, peaceful, beautiful, and carrying the familiar Himachali calmness. But what truly stayed with me was the view after the sun had finally set in. The city lights below looked like a sky full of stars that had somehow landed on Earth. The following morning, my itinerary had already been sorted. On the cards was Hatu Mata Temple, more commonly known as the Hatu Peak. Most people come here for the viewpoint, the photographs, the Instagram stories, but very few actually stop to appreciate how sacred this place actually is. Before chasing the views, I stepped into the temple and offered my prayers. The surroundings were lush, quiet, and impossibly green. And honestly, I can only imagine what this place must look like during the monsoon. Probably enough to make me come back immediately. Fortunately for me, I wasn't exploring with a guidebook. I was with someone who knew these mountains far better than any tourist ever could. Which is exactly how I found myself being asked a very simple question. Do I have the legs for a little detour? Little did the localite know, they were questioning a cyclist about his legs. And if there's one place where I seem to discover secret reserves of my energy, it's Himachal. So naturally the answer was yes. We then hopped on a trail through quiet forest, beneath towering trees, and suddenly the forest opens up. And oh my goodness, an endless grassland stretched before us. Wild horses roamed freely, the sky impossibly blue, the clouds looked like cotton candy scattered through the horizon. For a moment, I genuinely was out of words. I was simply grateful. I've never been drawn towards things that everybody has access to. Not cars, not motorcycles, not places. I've always loved things that require a little effort, curiosity, or luck to discover. And this place, I'd quite like to gatekeep it. Not because I'm selfish, because I genuinely believe some places shouldn't be announced. They should find you. Massive thanks to the kind stranger who unknowingly gave me the most memorable part of my entire trip. That evening, we headed towards the Mall Road and the Ridge again, where the summer festival was in full swing. Honestly, not really our thing. Crowds have never excited me. Give me quiet roads, empty viewpoints, and meaningful conversations any day. So, after spending a little time there, we exchanged goodbyes and went our own separate ways. And then came my least favorite part of every trip, the return. I packed my bags twice just to be sure, fired up my interceptor, and began heading home. Shimla, you were beautiful. A little crowded, a little busier than I usually like my mountains, but your people reminded me that beneath all the concrete still beats the heart of old Himachal.
Honestly, this is one of the worst feelings ever. I mean, there are things like breakup, accidents. I mean, those are completely different things, but this is another form of pain. Leaving the mountains, especially for somebody like me who just absolutely adores these mountains, these curvy roads. I mean, keep the roads aside, the feeling that the mountains give, it's just another, it can't be explained in words, man. I'm very, very heavy right now with my emotions, and I really don't feel good leaving this place. I have my future set once I'm all done. Even if I'm not done, I'm moving to the mountains, man. I just need to, you all need to help me subscribe to my channel, help me earn a little bit, move to the mountains. That's my destiny, man. I just can't stay in the flats for long now. Anyways, we've got a lovely curvy stretch of road, and let's go.
The ride home felt strangely quick. The mountains slowly disappeared into the mirrors, the air became warmer, then heavier, and with every passing kilometer, I knew I was getting closer to Delhi. A thought that filled me with approximately zero excitement. Soon, the familiar sights returned. Traffic, heat, and of course, the mountain of rubbish. Enough to make you laugh and feel slightly depressed at the same time. Then, almost without any warning, I was back where it all began. Home. And what a journey it had been. Quite possibly one of the most memorable rides of my life. Life is strange. You leave expecting something else and return back carrying something entirely different. A place, a lesson, a memory, or sometimes a person. Which is probably why the only thing that matters is learning to enjoy the present moment. And also a humble note to my audience, never ever stop dreaming and never stop manifesting. I mean, you all believe in Wi-Fi, you all believe in wireless signals, but you all think of manifestation and basically channeling your dreams as a myth, which I also did the same, but you know what I mean. Anyways, thank you for joining me on this journey. There will definitely be many more rides, many more mistakes, and hopefully much better videos in the future. Until then, ride safe, and I'll see you in the next one.